welcome back to my channel. I'm Isabella. This channel is devoted to navigating the Christian life in a messianic and Torah observant perspective. I do videos on everything from teaching, faith and lifestyle videos, and things I learn on the way, because we're all learning. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 quick, easy and healthy recipes that will start your day really well. So the 2 sweet recipes are gluten-free, dairy-free and vegan, and completely kosher. Today is also a really special video because I'm doing a collaboration with the channel Simply Odessa. She is such a woman after God's own heart, and she has blessed me completely. She is a homemaker and a photographer, and she does great videos to help you live humbly and love fearlessly. Yeah, I just think she's great, and I'm so happy that we could collaborate together, because she's all the way in America and I'm all the way in England. But she loves Torah, she loves Yahweh, she loves Jesus, and that's what we're here for. So I will link her video in the description box below. She is doing 3 keto breakfast recipes, 2 savoury and 1 sweet. Yeah, so if you have more of a savoury tooth in the morning, then I would definitely go check her video out and go check her channel out and give her love and support and tell her that I sent you. All these recipes are completely kosher and very good, if I don't say so myself. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first recipe that I have for you is the strawberries and cream Bircher. This is truly the most delicious thing I've ever tasted, and you can make it in advance, like days in advance in the fridge. So first off, grab a container and your yogurt. You want approximately 135 grams or 2/3 of a cup. I'm using dairy-free coconut yogurt, but you can adapt it however you want. You can also use Greek yogurt. The consistency is really good for this recipe. So once you've done that, we're going to add some texture. So the first thing I like to use is Oat Bran, and you're going to put 2 tablespoons of that in, and then some linseed, 1 tablespoon of that. For those who don't know what Oat Bran is, it's the outer coating of the oat groat itself. It's packed with way more fibre, actually 50% more fibre than normal oatmeal. It's got way more protein in it, and it is like packed with antioxidants. So that is why I use Oat Bran over oatmeal, but you could always use oats in its place. But I just think that Oat Bran is so looked over and no one really knows about it, when it's actually so much more beneficial for you for breakfast, and it keeps you fuller longer. So I'm just mixing those together, making sure that all of them are properly incorporated. Making breakfast like this just brings me so much joy, and I love the colour of Oat Bran and linseed. I just love that golden tone. It really helps. So next I'm adding the fruit. I've chosen strawberries, of course, because it's a strawberries and cream Bircher, but you can use any berry that you want. I am using about a handful or half a cup, but feel free to use more or less. It is totally your preference. You could also use frozen fruit. I like doing that if I want something that's slightly cooler in the summer. Once your fruit is chopped, you just want to place them in. I have put some chia seeds around the edge here, but I only did it for it to look nice, but it didn't show, so don't worry about that. But you can add chia seeds if you want, but just make sure it's not too many, because it's not very good to eat dry chia seeds. Once you've done that, we're going to add some healthy fats. So I'm going to use peanut butter, but you could also use almond butter or whatever nut butter that you have. Tablespoon of that. When it comes to peanut butter, you've got to get in there with your hand. It just has to be done. We are almost done. So now I'm just going to add a little sweetness with maple syrup, and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon. I love this shot. It looks like the jar is crying with joy because its sweetness has been fulfilled. Now for the cherry on top, I love to use oat cream in all my recipes. Obviously this is a vegan substitute for normal cream. Don't get me wrong, I would not use dairy cream in a breakfast recipe unless it was a very special day. So this is a great substitute. It tastes just like cream, and it has way less saturated fat and actually has some protein in it. So it's quite good for you, and it just tastes so good. For decoration, I'm just going to add some more chia, some more linseed, and there you have it. Gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan deliciousness in a jar. I would love for you to try it and see what you think. All amounts and the method I use will be in the description box below, and I'll calculate the calorie count too. So for the apple crumble chia pudding, we are going to need, of course, chia seeds. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons to this cup. So chia seeds again are a really healthy source of omega-3 fatty acids and protein. They also contain 0 cholesterol, and they fill you up because of how dense they are nutritionally. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding half a cup or 125 milliliters of oat milk to the 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. This will give you a perfect thick consistency when it's out of the fridge a few hours later. Next, I'm going to add my sweetener. So I'm going to use my maple syrup once again. 1 tablespoon of that. Once mixed, you're going to want to put this in the fridge for a few hours or overnight if you're doing it the night before. Chia seeds need time to soak in order for them to be healthily consumed, so make sure you do this step. Once left, it should look like this when you take it out. Now we are ready to add the rest. So the next thing that I'm going to use is applesauce. So for this recipe, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon and mix that into the chia seeds thoroughly. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon on top. So I'm just adding applesauce for convenience because it does have sugar in it. But what you can do is make your own applesauce or apple compote. Let me know if you want to see that recipe. So once that is done, we're going to add the same yogurt that we added in the previous recipe. So usually I do about 2 tablespoons. Again, you can always add a different yogurt, it's up to you, but I really do find that this coconut Greek style yogurt is so good with chia seeds. The 2 flavours go together perfectly to create this harmonious creaminess in your mouth.
So I do recommend it. Once that is done, the foundation has been laid, we are going to add half an apple. What I like to do is cut them into thin slices, but you can always chop them up more if this recipe is more for children, because I feel like this would probably be a bit hard for them to eat. But yes, so I'm just going to lay them out. You don't have to do this, of course. This is just for the effect. But I like doing this on days when I have more time. Next, we're going to add some almond butter. I really like using almond butter in this recipe because it really does add to the crumble sort of flavour. I don't feel like peanut butter does the same thing. So once we've added 1 tablespoon of almond butter, we're going to add a handful of chopped walnuts. So we are almost done with this recipe. The last thing I'm going to use is 1 tablespoon, you guessed it, of oat cream. So good. It will taste just like apple crumble. Before we finish, I'm going to add one last thing, a sprinkling of dried cane sugar, or you can use brown sugar, coconut sugar, whatever you have, just to give that caramelized effect. And there you have it, another delicious, healthy, gluten-free, vegan, dairy-free breakfast recipe for you to try. And trust me, it is one of the best things ever. If you are a sweet tooth in the morning and you have a thing for puddings, I mean, who doesn't? This is the recipe for you. And that is it, beloveds. I will link all the ingredients and the method in the description box below. The nutritional information will also be there, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Also, once you've watched this video, if you do try any of these recipes, I would love to see them, take photos, and I will put the link for my Facebook or Instagram in the description. Send them to me via private message and I will put them up on my Instagram. Remember to love Yeshua and be devoted to Yahweh.